Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Ace Adobe virtual program, where today we are going to be taking you through yet again another area of Adobe Photoshop that you can use to edit and manipulate your images. In the past few programs, we've gone over the basic structure of Adobe Photoshop and how you can manipulate layers inside of the Layers panel. Both of those videos are available on our YouTube channel to watch if you want to get yourself up to speed and be able to fully understand today's tutorial and what we'll be going through. So now that we've gone over the basics, we're going to be looking at this sidebar here at some of these specific tools inside Photoshop that you can use to manipulate your images and your text. And specifically, we're going to be focusing today on the clone stamp tool, which, as you see in this description here, allows you to paint with pixels from another part of the image. This can be used for a lot of different things, but I really like to use it for object removal, and that is what I'm going to be showing you today. So we're going to be using this picture from the youth library to go from this photo with the trash can to this photo without the trash can. It's a super simple edit, and I know you can do it, and this can be applied to any image you have or work on anytime you want an object removed. Some edits are easier than others. This one is fairly simple. And so without further ado, let's get started. So to use this, first you click the clone stamp tool. And up here you have a lot of options for adjusting the clone stamp itself. You can choose the size of the clone stamp, so incredibly big. You can make it pretty small. You can adjust the hardness of it, so less of a faded edge. So I'm going to make it about this size, and we'll leave the hardness at approximately 25%. You can change the type of brush you use. Usually I just stick with the standard brush, but there's a lot of others here that you can use, like soft round, hard round, pressure size, all sorts of brushes available to use. So those settings are good for me. Click out of that. And then you can also change the blend mode and the opacity of your clone stamp. And so to get started on the actual removal, I'm going to zoom in. I'm on a Mac, so I'm just doing Command plus to zoom in. But the controls will vary on which system you have. So first of all, you want to select the area that you want to stamp over this object. So I want to stamp it over with this desk. So I'm going to actually make the size just a little bit smaller to approximately that. And then Option, click. Oh, I guess I need to select my logo first. There we go. Make sure your layer is selected or else you won't be able to do it. So Option, and when I press the Option, this little button here shows up, and then click. And then you'll see that the desk is now selected. So then once I do that, oh, that's fine. Once I do that, all you do is start painting over it. And it helps when you're doing this to vary which parts of the image you're getting your clone from so that it doesn't look incredibly uniform, because see how this has a lot of varieties in the grain and texture? We want to make sure that we're retaining those, and so it doesn't look incredibly fake. Moving more towards the bottom here. And now once I get to this bottom part, I want to make sure I retain this hard edge. So I'm going to clone stamp this part so that I can stamp that line across. And there, now we have the edge of our drawer. I'm going to take some of the texture from up here, as I said, and kind of stamp it throughout so that we can continue to have some irregularity in the patterns. From right here. Maybe bring this line down a bit. That. It's right here. And there, now that that is set up, next we're going to fix the floor here, because you see these repeatings that you can very clearly tell that it was edited. So we're going to sample some of the flooring, cover that up. maybe take from over here. Actually, sample from right here. And then, just to make sure, I'm gonna zoom out. But I believe that this looks pretty good. Actually, let me fix just a little bit. So you notice right here, this looks very fake. So we're gonna fix those lines. So the whole goal here is to just make these edits look as natural as possible, like they were always there in the image. And I think that looks pretty legit, like that. And you notice it just kind of blends in with the carpet around. You don't really notice too much that there's a difference. So then we're gonna zoom out. And let me do the zoom so that you can fit it to the screen. And there we go. We have our layer clone stamped. We go here, they're pretty much the same. The only difference is just a little bit of the sampling is different. But you really wouldn't notice that. And so our trash can is now out of the image and it looks considerably better than it did before. And so as always, the last step, once we have our finished image, is to export it. File export as PNG, or export as if you need a different setting. We'll just do PNG though for it to be fast. Shelf, edit. We'll save it to our documents. And that is it, everyone. That is how you use the clone stamp tool. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them on the video and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you again for watching, and we will see you next month for a new episode of Ace Adobe. Bye!